So there was a few questions in the chat. And guys, this is the time to type them in. You know how this goes if you've ever been on a Friday Live. Start typing questions. Is a VPN going to affect people's ability to earn or anything within the app if they use a VPN?
That's a great question. So let's go up on this call. We can actually go in detail. This is definitely the audience for it. Okay, so what a VPN does, for those who don't know, it literally is a proxy that routes your location per se, but primarily browser based. So the typical use case for this is, let's say I'm a Downton Abbey fan and it's released in the UK and it's not released here in the United States and I want to watch it. I can download like ExpressVPN or ZenMate or one of these VPN companies that are out there. By the way, they do sell your data. So make sure when you work with a VPN company, many of them do sell your data to people like me and other third-party data companies. But that's a digression. That primarily changes your location. So I can show up in London, England via this proxy and watch Downton Abbey. As I stated earlier, for the app, we are utilizing GPS data, Wi-Fi, and cellular. So if you open up the app, we're going to ask for location services. We're basically saying, hey, dear Apple, dear Android, tell me where this phone's located. A VPN is not going to stop us from actually seeing the true location of that phone. So yes, you can use a VPN. I still encourage you to use one if you choose to. You're at a coffee shop or for work or for just general privacy. We would definitely encourage that, but we will see the true location of that phone. And that's for good reason, by the way, because we do feel like some people are going to try to game the system. It's inevitable. And we definitely see where those phones are located, but definitely a good question.
Awesome. So when you see people in a location on the Tapestry app, are those people using the app or are they just anyone in general in that location?
Those are only Tapestry users.
Okay.
Yes, only Tapestry users.
Why is the goal on the app like $12 instead of the $25? You kind of mentioned a little bit about how it'll change monthly.
Yeah, it's a range. And I kind of like the human psyche by default. If I say, 5 to 25, you're going to say, okay, it's $5 or whatever it is. But, we definitely feel like there are many people, actually many people who are going to be earning on that high end. And those who are in the middle who earn $8 to $12 and those who earn 4 or 5. It really depends on that phone. Our ability to track location in the background, have it always on. You're not stopping location for a day. You didn't turn off your phone for whatever reason. And we constantly get events. And that is a moving target. And that's why we have that range.
Awesome. How wide of an area does the map cover?
Oh, it's backed in by Google Maps. So it's the globe.
Okay. Do we have
you can pinch, you can squeeze, you can kind of go as far out and zoom in as much as you like.
Cool. That's awesome. Do we have to take money out of our account every month or can we let it build up before putting it into our bank account?
You can let it build up. The minimum payout is $10. So that's the amount of money you qualify to actually get a payout, which should be most people, hopefully, as we collect the events on the back end. But you can definitely allow it to kind of earn up if you'd like, and there's no minimum there at all.
All right. Can we share?
Oh, good question there. But go ahead.
Okay, so I see one say we're just getting recruits now, right? Whether affiliate or user. Yeah, we're not. The app isn't live yet. As much as we all would love to be installing it on our phone right now. So actually, that brings up a good question I wanted to ask is, can you give us a good launch strategy? So when the app is live, what would you like to see? Obviously, for me, number one is get everybody who is an affiliate to install the app. But is there any strategy we should be using for that?
Yeah, so I think that the number one strategy is you, the affiliate, downloading the app and actually seeing your specific earnings goal. Then go to close friends and family and say, I've downloaded this app you probably knew about. I've signed up to be an affiliate here. You should download it as well and see what your earning goal turns out to be. And I think that discovery aspect and playing off the game dynamics of that is very interesting to kind of see what it would be. Because again, it's all algorithmic. I don't know what it is. So we kind of wrote code that would determine that. So I think that would be the top strategy. But we're also giving 30 days that we're only allowing our affiliates to allow people to download it. There'll be many frustrated people who go to the store trying to download this app and they don't have the right code. So they can't get in and they need one of you guys to let them in. So that's the strategy for the first 30 days. After that, we kind of allow everybody to download the app.
Awesome. And what's the difference between an affiliate and non-affiliate account?
A non-affiliated account is just someone who's not an affiliate. They're just an average user who downloads the app. They sign up with their email address or Facebook or with Apple, and they're making money with their data. Never wanting to be an affiliate, but maybe decides to later on become an affiliate. It's really up to them, but they're just an average consumer using the app.
All right. And if you delete your app on your phone, do you not receive any money that you have earned thus far?
So thus far, so I mean, let's use a bunch of hypotheticals in that scenario. If you download the app, let's say, July 20th, for example, and you had it live for like 2 days, no, you're not going to earn anything. So the earnings is based on being active for 30 days, whether it be a user or an affiliate. Our affiliate program is based on users. You're not making money off affiliates. You're really making money off users using the app. So we're looking at 30-day cycles to begin earning and actually getting payouts. So I would say 30 days is that minimum to earn.
And if I install the app and have it on my phone for 45 days and I have $15 in my account, and then I decide one day I just don't want to use Tapestry anymore and I take it off my phone, that $15 is lost, correct?
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll cash out before you delete it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that there's a few warnings. Like if I were to decide to delete it, I'm warned like, hey, you're going to lose all your money if it's in this account if you delete now.
Exactly. Yeah. We try to give as many warnings as possible. But I think we'll be gracious. If somebody deleted their app on accident for whatever reason, we'll reactivate it. That's not an issue.
Nice. What are the plans to expand servers to accommodate the anticipated growth?
Man, tell me about it. We're doing that right now. So we moved from like a typical hosting account when we had a squeeze page to we're in Amazon Web Services right now in the cloud that has an auto scaling load balancer. So for technical folks on here, we basically send all the traffic to a load balancer. It determines how many servers are necessary. And then it basically dissipates the load of the traffic. So that's there now. That's why the site's moving so fast right now. And we upgraded that as of today because we were seeing so much continuous traffic. And again, this is a technical call, so I'll be a bit more technical. It's not necessarily there's so many people on the app, but it's like if you have 10,000 people all logged in and they're all trying to look at their tree and do support, that's when that continuous usage it comes up with that 404 error that you saw today, which is now resolved. So thanks for your patience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Somebody who has an older phone like a 6S, are they going to need to upgrade their phone?
No, they don't have to upgrade their phone. I think we would be transparent and say they would probably earn less than those who are on an iPhone 12, for example. But no, they don't. I wouldn't recommend updating your phone or changing anything per se. When they're ready for an upgrade, they can definitely upgrade and they begin earning a bit more at that point. But no, they could still earn even on an iPhone 6 or 6S.
Is there a maximum you can earn every month?
The max on data is going to be that $25 per month. But there isn't a max if you're Danny and you're super affiliate like her and her ability to share it with so many people. There's no max there.
And then also you said something about surveys, so that if somebody's earning on their data is one thing, but if they want to fill out some surveys and answer questions,
correct,
you can increase that earning, correct? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's a big market. I mean, I'm sure, like Google survey app has, over 75 million users on a monthly basis, people who and they're earning, small amounts of money. It's like 5 cents, 10 cents at a time. Maybe some of you use that app. But we want to give that ability to earn more. And why they'll earn more with us is because we now have behavioral attributes tied to that person. So for example, behind most of these surveys are large brands. So think of like a Target or a Procter & Gamble or someone like that who's very interested in feedback of a product. Our ability to qualify you for that survey because I've seen you at Target allows you to earn more. And that's kind of the technology behind it, which we're pretty excited about.
Nice. How about if somebody puts on their phone on low battery mode? Is that going to affect their earnings?
Oh, that's a great question. I saw that earlier. I wanted to address it earlier. So when you go in low battery mode with Apple or Android, it's basically prioritizing many things to just slow down. And one of the big things is definitely going to be location. So yes, I mean, generally at the end of the day, you're probably doing that. So it's not that big of a deal for us. But yeah, if you're staying in default low battery mode, you will earn less. Yes, it's a good question. Really good question.
So there's several people asking how a free user, and I think it would be the same for an affiliate within the app, how do they get paid? A free user who's shared with people and also is earning, how are they going to be able to access their money?
Yeah, so it's all basically right now, if you're an affiliate, you signed up with us, behind that is Stripe. Stripe does collection and payouts. So the ability to send money directly to your Google Wallet or your Android wallet or your Apple wallet or PayPal or transfer, Stripe gives us the ability to do all of that. So as a user or an affiliate, you have that ability. And thankfully, there are global companies that allow us to work with so many different geos. So that's what we're utilizing for payout.
Perfect. And does an affiliate have to download the app or can they refer sign up using a replicated site? Thinking of people that are outside the US and Canada initially.
Yeah, another good question. So obviously as an affiliate, you don't have to use the app. We really encourage you to do so because our whole business is based off the data. But clearly you could, refer people if you're in the US or you in Canada, or you're in a market where Tapestry is not live. You can refer people and constantly and consistently earn, even if the app's not on your phone.
Right. Can they turn tracking off for less than 24 hours, or is it only that time increment?
So you can manually go back in and enable it. That's a good question. But, generally, we basically take your word for it. You want to stop tracking, that's totally fine. We'll give you a nudge in 24 hours. Now, after those 24 hours, this question comes up as well. It's like, oh, I forgot, or, how does that actually, qualify me, and all these different things. Is you definitely want to respond to that nudge and turn it back on, because that's what keeps everything active. And so many people are used to like breakage and all these different lingos from other companies. Our whole business is that data. So we definitely want the consumer and the affiliate, super affiliate, global affiliate, to know and constantly remind folks to turn it back on.
All right. And the app is not required for affiliates to be able to earn this. Somebody's asking that question, and that's correct. We don't require you have the app on your phone. And the reason we did that was because there are affiliates who've taken a position with Tapestry who are outside of the US, which means they won't be able to install the app when it goes live. And we didn't want to cut out their ability to earn. So an affiliate outside the US can still share the link, the app, with people in the US, and when they install it, that commission will be generated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Here's a fun one. If a user invites people to their house for a party, will those Tapster users show on the map if the location is a property and not a POI?
That's a great question. Trying to be sneaky. The answer is no, right? We're not going to show homes. The part where it gets like, you could have a business at your house that shows up on Google business listings. Let's say you're, a quirky veterinarian who has, uses your house as that, and that's a point of interest. That is a complete fair game in that scenario. But generally, a common nighttime dwelling, generally an address. There's about 110 million addressable houses in the United States that are tied to the USPS, and we have all of them in our system. We know not to show users there. But if it's a point of interest, generally regulated as a business and qualified as a business, has a DUNS number and all of that, that's where we'll actually show. But no, we're not going to blast your house party.
All right. Does a user know how many people his referrals referred?
As a user, no, we do not.
All right. Does an affiliate does, because you can go into your back. So when I say back office, just to clarify for everyone, we have an app that we're installing on our phone, which is the Tapestry app. But our back office is a website that's really like your business secretary that tracks all of your commissions. It tracks your group, your team. who's referred who and how many they've referred, just like you're logging in now and seeing that. That's where an affiliate will be able to see if their referrals have referred people, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're talking to, yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay. When the app goes live and downloads, users will have the option to upgrade to affiliate, correct? Will the app prompt them to consider becoming an affiliate?
It will not. That's a good question as well. No, it won't. We're not going to encourage or push or do any of that. We look at just, you're a consumer who uses Spotify or the weather app or Candy Crush or Clash of Clans, and we don't want to push you to do anything that you don't want to do. However, if you're an affiliate and you know that person, you could clearly encourage them. It will just be there. If you want to sign up to make extra money, there'll be a lot of promotionals on YouTube and Instagram about becoming an affiliate, but no, we're not going to encourage them to upgrade.
All right. Is there an actual launch date set? And if not, will we be informed when the app is, like, will we be given a window of the app's going to go live in 3 days, 5 days, a week, whatever?
We will, yeah. So we're not just say, oh, it's live, and everybody kind of scrambles around. We are going to kind of give you a few days notice to let you know the app's live. It's probably going to be within that 72 hours. So I don't anticipate us going longer than that, because we know you're patiently waiting, and I'm patiently waiting to get this in your hands as soon as possible. But I could definitely say I'll stick with the team, but probably like a 72-hour notice.
That's perfect. I love that. That's great. Can this app be loaded on a phone and a tablet?
It can, but it's one account, one user. So if you put this on an iPad, number one, back to the earlier questions we talked about earlier, you're going to earn less on an iPad for sure, without a doubt. Just the nature of how an iPad is collecting location data. Most iPads, not all, but a lot of iPads don't have a cellular plan, which is necessary primarily for location background. So you can put this on an iPad, but if you have it on your iPad and on your iPhone or your Android phone, you'll only earn on one. And now we have a true set, and the true set is the location data. So we'll be able to tell. But if you want to put it on your iPad and you're just putting it on there and nothing else, then that's totally fine.
Awesome. So here's a fun one. She says, just for giggles, my mom has a flip phone. I told her no, she can't download Tapestry.
Unfortunately not. But that flip phone may be worth some money here pretty shortly.
Right? My dad has a flip phone too. They can both put them on Facebook Marketplace or something. All right. You mentioned after 30 days after launch, anyone will be able to install the app without an affiliate link. Will they be considered as an orphaned user?
They are, yes. That is by definition. We got to create a better name for that besides orphans, but yes, by definition, they would be considered not having an enroller, and that's that pool that a lot of our global affiliates begin earning from.
What happens if a user's phone location data is turned off for a few days during the 30-day cycle?
Yeah, that's the sticky point where they would not qualify for earnings for that period of time. So turning off location services, which is the baseline settings on that phone for whether in iOS or Android, is kind of how we live and breathe. So we would definitely encourage those not to turn that off.
So just to clarify, if I have the app on my phone and I decide, like, for 3 days straight, I just go into stealth mode, dark mode, I don't want to be tracked, whatever it's going to be called, and I don't turn it back on, do I still generate any income within like my data, or no?
No. So over those 3 days, you've definitely not earned anything, right? So we haven't collected anything, and neither has any other app on your phone since you're in this dark mode right now. But when you can turn it back on, of course, for sure, and you begin earning yet again. But it creates breakage for us, right? So now we see that, in our kind of overarching view, that you as Danny went off and you above you as an enroller, and you became non-qualified for that period of time because you turned it off for 3 days.
Okay, so I as a user within the app can still earn on the data when I turn it back on. I'm not losing
absolutely
any accumulated, POI pinging location. But the person who shared the app with me will not, because I turned it off for more than 24 hours, they're not going to get their dollar for that 30-day period, correct?
That's correct. And let's kind of that brings up a good point I kind of want to talk about. So what we're doing here at Tapestry is we're paying you for user acquisition. So we're not going to ad networks and all these third-party companies that we previously done at Complementix to acquire users. We're paying you. So we're going to pay you once we see these users, active and actually utilizing the app, not to be in the app every single day. It works in the background. So when we see breakage, meaning that, that one phone went silent for 3 days, we're basically paying out money and we didn't receive any money in exchange. So that's why we don't pay that out. But clearly, Danny, you could turn it back on and begin earning right away. We're not canceling out your account. We're not penalizing you at all for turning it off. That's totally up to you.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. Do you earn more as affiliates when you install the app? No.
Nope. Not on your own data. You can earn more when you share it.
Lots of people extremely excited over here, by the way, if you're reading through these. I can't keep up, you guys, seriously. Like, Chuck, if you see some really important ones, I still have 99 new messages I haven't even read yet.
Yeah, I see. I'm going through it now. Vince Dave's question on, you're up in the mountains and you lose, cell signal. Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, again, we're going to see that, right? So we'll see all that aspect of that, so we can find ways to discount that as well. And again, this is algorithmic. We're not doing anything manual. But if you were to tell us, in advance, or we were to see that, we can definitely take that in consideration. We understand that there are points in America and all over the world where cell connectivity is not as strong. Totally understand. That's one of the reasons why we're not launching globally, because of that reason. Although they'll see a large perpetuation of mobile phones, let's say in parts of Africa and India, the cell connectivity is not as strong, and many of those phones are on pay-as-you-go. And we have to create models for that specifically, which we're excited to do. It's something we're working on.
Awesome. I have somebody here asking about the Complementix and Tapestry. How do those two businesses align?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we are combining these companies together. So Complementix is the company I originally founded back in 2010. I sold that company in 2015 to a former search engine called info.com, a bunch of Brits who wanted to create a Google competitor. And they did pretty well. It was quite a thing, they say, in 1999 in England, and they had a lot of traffic. But they took in a lot of our data and they bought the asset, and we continue to grow it. So Complementix was an SDK, which is a software development kit, which sits inside of mobile apps. So we'd go to like travel apps, dating apps, maps, and navigation apps, many of the apps that are on your phone right now. And we'd say, hey, we're very interested in this mobile data. Will you give it to us anonymously? We'll pay for it. We'll give you another revenue source that's complementary to your core business. That's why we call it Complementix. And all these social dating apps, weather apps were like, absolutely. So they gave us the data. We still today see over 400 million devices in the United States, and we pay them, and we've been paying them every single month for the last 8 years, and that business is going well. However, we see, around the corner, we see the future of data. The future of data is going directly to you, going directly to the consumer. And you would say, people wouldn't do half the things they do today, which I use the analogy of like sharing cars and sharing homes. We're going to get to a place where people are sharing data. People are transacting their data, which is the new oil, we believe, every single day. And we're trying to build that. We're trying to be the first to market to build this at scale. So that works.
First to market, I love it. That's where we want to be. When will the infamous question, when will the app be available in other countries?
Yeah, so our plan is English speaking specifically to start. And not that we just love English speaking geos, but behind this, and this is the perfect call to talk about kind of how this works, is like behind us is an ecosystem that looks at data globally. We all want global data, but behind that is GDP and GDP per capita, right? GDP per capita in the United States is roughly $60,000 a year. The average American's earning $60K per year. They're going to stores, they're purchasing things, and that is creating the value of how this whole system works. As you look at the UK, you look at Western Europe, as you look at Australia, New Zealand, all English speaking is very similar, plus or minus 10 to 25%. So we'll go there as well. But then we start talking about France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, translation of the app, and another map in their language that feels native to them. That's what we're kind of holding out. But we will say, like, by Q1 of next year, we want to be live in every geo. That is the plan.
Love it. If the phone, so this is a really good question, just to clarify, because I want people to understand. If the phone is turned off, say for the evening, the phone is off, it's not going to reset the 30-day cycle. They're asking.
If the phone is turned off? No.
It's if the app is turned off, that's when for more than 24 hours, that's when it resets. But if you turn your phone off, it's not going to affect Tapestry earnings.
Not at all. So again, that would still be less than a 24-hour period. So that's totally fine. And again, there's definitely a large percentage of people, which may be pretty smart, and you start doing this, who like turn their phone off at night for, just to disconnect. So we totally understand that. And
an affiliate can become a user if they decide they don't want to be an affiliate anymore. Yeah, they're already a user anyway. If they have Tapestry on their phone, that's a user.
Yep, absolutely.
What do we want with our data? I think they're asking who you're selling the data to.
So right now we have confidentiality agreements who we sell it to specifically, but I've given examples on many affiliate calls. So I think that's what's public already out there is like Barclays Research, a top 10 bank in the world uses this data. And the MLB uses this data. I mean, it's hard to not name a Fortune 50 company that's not using our data in some capacity. I mean, right now, I'll further elaborate. Every McDonald's is geofencing every Burger King. Every Burger King is looking at McDonald's. Every Kroger is looking at Safeway. It's just how this system works. Walmart's looking at Target, and you're trying to get those customers back in your door, and you're doing loyalty programs to get them in the door. It's just how the system works. So we feel that what we provide at Complementix, and even more so at Tapestry, is immensely more valuable than anything those companies can create. And we plan to continually monetize that anonymously. So not Danny or Walter, a random ID went into Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid, and that's what we monetize.
And not only that, you're monetizing it anonymously, and you're also getting my permission and consent to do so, which is a really big deal.
Right, exactly.
All right, so if we have, let me see. Will you open in the Play Store even if Apple hasn't approved the app yet by a certain date?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something we're weighing right now. So the reason we hold off on going live in the Google Play, it's just the breakdown in this country. I mean, I'm on an iPhone specifically, but I am buying an Android phone just so I have it, so I can carry it on both phones from a testing perspective. All our engineers are Android, which is ironic. I know, Danny, you're an iPhone, Chuck's on an Android phone. And if we launch this in the United States, you're going to see a huge difference. And to have that difference up front would be a bit troubling from a technical perspective. But there's only so long we'll actually hold out without launching this. And we're kind of weighing that now, but that's a really good point.
Do you foresee Apple taking longer than 2 to 3 weeks to give the go?
So what Apple tells us, the first time we submitted 2 to 4 weeks, and we were submitted again 2 to 4 weeks, that's kind of what, and the first time they responded in 3.5 weeks to get back to us. And they responded very specifically what they wanted. We responded and did exactly what they wanted us to do. So it's going to be a 2 to 4 week process before they, get back to us, but we're hoping it's on the shorter end of that.
All right, I like this question. What happens if I do not turn the phone off, but go to the mountains for a hike getaway for 3 days? Do I lose my earnings for that month?
Yeah, I was just trying to address that question earlier. And that's a really good point where you're just going to lose cell signal. But from the app perspective, it's a bit more technical, but what we're doing is we're requesting. So we're saying, hey, dear phone, where are you at? Dear phone, where are you at? Constantly. And, if you stop location tracking, if you turn your phone off, we understand that. And we can determine that kind of in the code that you've basically blocked our access. If you're in the mountains and you just don't have cell signal, we'll just constantly be requesting until we get a signal again, and you won't get dinged upon at all. Same thing for going in airplane mode or, being on a plane or something like that. It'll be the exact same.
All right. Several people asking, so just so everybody knows, the way the orphans will get divvied out is that anybody who is an active super affiliate, those orphans go into the super affiliate pool, and they're divvied out accordingly, just like you divvy out a deck of cards to each super affiliate. So everybody should have a goal of becoming a super affiliate so you can start getting orphans on day 31, 32, and beyond as people install the app, and maybe people are finding it in the app store just by happenstance and not having a personal invite. Let's see. Oh my goodness, we could be here for 2 days. I think I'm just going to have to, Walter, do you see any you want to address, or Chuck, any specifics?
Hold on, let me run through this really quick. Can Android just be targeted until iPhone gives us the green light? I love that question, Leonard. We're going to try our best to be a little bit more patient, but I would love to launch this as soon as possible. Can launch for the app is approximately 72 hours away. No, it's not 72 hours away. We're going to give you 72-hour notice before we actually launch the app when Apple gets approved.
This is a good one. Can you still become a super affiliate after launch? Absolutely. We did not put any time frame on qualifications, guys. So it could take you 3 years to become a super affiliate. We're not playing that game.
Yeah. It's a good question from Nancy. Okay, it's jumping away from me. What was it? I'm traveling to Europe in September. What's the effect of the app? No, I mean, that's from a data perspective, that's very valuable. So we're looking at domestic travelers, international travelers, what terminal you flew out of. I mean, it's very, very specific of what we're looking at it anonymously. So that's great. It's a great data point. You'll definitely earn a bit more on that trip.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I am going to close out this meeting. Thank you all 420 whatever people that are on with us tonight. That's amazing. We almost maxed out my 500 room capacity. So I'm really glad Michael Linkdo told me to upgrade. I had 100 and everybody would have been in a panic if I would have stuck with that. So thanks for the suggestion. But also I wanted to say in closing, we do the Friday live Zoom with a Q&A after every Friday. Having said that, we are growing. You guys are awesome. You're building amazingly, and we're getting a ton of questions afterwards. So I'm going to ask each and every person to be a leader of their own business and go to the Facebook group and watch one of the frequently asked question pre-recorded live meetings so that you can get as many questions as you might have today answered before Friday, and ask some really great questions on Friday so we can, the frequently asked questions, we get the same kind of 30 questions, majority of them every Friday. So do your homework, get educated and informed, get those questions answered. All of the tools and resources are under the guides tab in the Facebook group. If you are not, hold on one second, I'm going to do a share here. I turned my Facebook off. I'm still sharing my screen, correct? If you're not a part of the Facebook group, you have to be an active affiliate and you have to answer all the questions to be allowed into the group, because we're keeping it Tapestry specific, so everybody can get the most out of the group. And the go-to place for, if I can get there. Come on. It's going a little slow here. Once you get into that group, where you want to go is to announcements and guides. And on the guides, sorry, everyone, the videos I'm referring to, you'll find under guides, and they're right here. This is an excellent one. There's a 20-minute overview here. I will add Fridays. I apologize, it's not there, but I will add it. So you'll see 7, whatever it was, 7 Fridays live overview with a frequently asked questions afterwards. Tap into that. It's about an hour long. It's well worth your time. And Friday, come with some great questions. Friday is a live overview where you can invite anybody to come and hear what Tapestry is in about 10, 15 minutes. It's really quick. And also an affiliate overview. And then afterwards, the Q&A. So thank you all so much for being here. And thank you, Walter, for taking the time to show us what the app really can do and how it functions and how we can utilize it to share with everybody and get Tapestry all over the US and abroad here next year soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for taking the time this evening. So very much appreciated. Have a great evening.